He stepped into the ring again and again against men who had never known defeat. Fighters who walked in convinced they were different, convinced they were immune to the outcome that followed everyone else who underestimated him. Naoya Inoue never argued back. He never matched trash talk with trash talk. He answered in the only place that mattered, inside the ropes, where confidence either becomes history or collapses under pressure. Each fight felt less like a contest and more like a test of reality, stripping away bravado layer by layer until only truth remained. What made it brutal was not just the knockdowns or the stoppages, but how quickly belief drained from the other corner once the opening exchanges began. Emmanuel Rodriguez learned that lesson the hard way. Before the fight, his camp was loud, emotional, almost desperate to prove they were not intimidated. Tensions rose so high that even Inoue's father was targeted during fight week, a clear sign of a team trying to manufacture psychological leverage. But once the bell rang, that energy flipped. Rodriguez came forward early, showing courage, even confidence, trying to establish himself behind a jab and prove he belonged. The first round was intense, violent, and honest, with heavy shots landing on both sides. For a moment, it looked competitive, but Inoue was calm. Every movement was measured. Every punch had intent. When the right hand finally landed clean, it changed everything. Rodriguez tasted the power, and from that moment on, the fight belonged to Inoue. The knockdown did not come from recklessness, but from precision. A perfectly timed sequence that dismantled Rodriguez's balance and belief at the same time. By the second knockdown, it was no longer about survival. It was about inevitability. The aggression that nearly turned physical before the fight dissolved into shock as Rodriguez crumpled, and the belt changed hands with justice, served in brutal fashion. That same story repeated itself against Jamie McDonnell, a champion who believed size alone would solve the problem. Taller, longer, more experienced, McDonnell dismissed Inoue openly, arriving late to the weigh-in with a grin that suggested he was already looking past the fight. He promised to run Inoue out of the ring, convinced the smaller man could not handle his range or his maturity. But inside the ring, size became a liability. Inoue wasted no time targeting the body, chopping away with precision that stole McDonnell's legs almost immediately. Each punch sounded heavier than it should have, each combination snapping McDonnell back toward the ropes. When the knockdown came, it was sudden and disorienting, a reminder that leverage and timing outweigh height every time. The finish was ruthless. Inoue sensed weakness and swarmed with controlled aggression, ending the fight in the opening round and making history in Tokyo. Another undefeated aura was shattered, another confident champion reduced to a footnote. Then came the most technical test of all, the undefeated and highly respected Stephen Fulton. This was not a fighter known for reckless bravado, but for intelligence, discipline, and skill. Fulton believed his jab, his footwork, and his ring IQ would neutralize Inoue's power. Even before the fight, controversy followed, with accusations about hand wrapping and demands for close supervision, an attempt to undermine Inoue's reputation before the first punch was thrown. But once the fight began, the difference in levels became apparent. Inoue did not rush. He studied Fulton, using his own jab to the body and head, disrupting rhythm and distance. Every time Fulton tried to reset, Inoue cut him off, closing space with frightening speed. The jab that was supposed to be Fulton's weapon became Inoue's tool, snapping his head back and freezing him in place. Round by round, the pressure increased. Fulton tried to adjust, shifting tactics, attempting to fight on the front foot, then retreating again when the counters landed too clean. Inoue's composure never wavered. He picked his shots carefully, wasting nothing, letting speed and timing do the damage. Blood began to show. Confidence began to fade. The crowd could sense it. Every exchange tilted further in Inoue's favor as he mixed body shots with sharp right hands upstairs. Fulton was no longer dictating anything. He was reacting, surviving, hoping for space that never came. When the decisive moment arrived, it was violent and unmistakable. A massive right hand rocked Fulton, and Inoue pounced, chasing him down with the instincts of a true finisher. The stoppage was not just a victory. It was a statement. The so-called superior boxer had been outboxed, outpaced, and ultimately overwhelmed. Across divisions, across continents, the pattern remained the same. whether it was skeptics questioning his experience, champions dismissing his size, or analysts debating whether his power would translate upward. Inoue answered all of it with consistency. His jab set everything up. His footwork ensured he was always in position. His power punished mistakes instantly. But what truly separated him was his patience. He did not hunt recklessly. He hunted intelligently, breaking fighters down mentally before breaking them physically. That is why undefeated records vanished so quickly when they met him. That is why legends were made ordinary under his pressure. These fights were brutal not because of bloodshed alone, but because they exposed the gap between belief and reality. Every opponent came in confident, prepared, and convinced they had the answer. Every opponent left with the same realization, that there is a different level in this sport, and Naoya Inoue operates comfortably above it. He is not loud. He does not chase hype. He simply walks forward, tests everything in the ring, and leaves with another piece of history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most destructive runs in modern boxing, let us know what fight impressed you the most and which opponent you think truly pushed Inoue to his limit. Do you believe there is anyone left who can stop him? Or are we witnessing a generational run that will only grow more dominant with time? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want more long-form boxing breakdowns like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next.